goods is to buy things. Corin. Well, looks like she's traveled a long way to be here. And she had to fight something pretty much every step of the way. When you approach, she looks you over closely, then nods. Well, you look like you're worth my time. I'm Corin. I hope you're not as incompetent as every other adventurer I've met lately. She takes a sip of wine and lets out a long sigh. Where'd you travel from? I'm from the castle. I'm an agent, sent up here to do a number of tasks, and I'm looking for people to hire for the Mertis step of my journey. How was your journey here? Efficient for the most part. The Sea of Almaria is one of those shades in it, and it's clouding everyone's mind, making them paranoid. Took a lot of work to get through there. Apart from that, I could move quickly. How'd you get through? Bribed a guard, snuck through, and the people found out what I did and hung the guard. Real shame, but I was by. You an adventurer? I'm an envoy of the crown, not a wandering nobody. Came from the castle itself. Has the castle heard of a new band of bandits? They have a symbol like an inverted crown. As a matter of fact, they have. Though it shouldn't be common. Oh dear. If you're heading south, you should probably plan a stop at the castle. They'll want to hear what you have to say. Tell me about the castle. The largest building in Avernum, at the center of the great cave. You want to be truly useful, truly influential, that's where you should go. Okie dokie. Generic merchant. You... Can I get a room? Nope, all full. Any more merchants on the road since the boat stopped sailing? If you need a place to recover your wounds, talk to Elder Aaron at the other end of town. Interesting news. There's undead everywhere. Our mare got eaten by a zombie. That's what's been happening here. There are monsters in the seas. You might have heard that already. No boats can sail because of sea monsters. I saw a boat. Any news about the sea monsters? Still in the water, still hungry. Monsters in cities? Yep, the shades. Almaria, south. What do you got? Junk. Well, we can get priest training here anyway. What do you want from me? It's a bandit outpost in the honeycomb west of here. I think it's in the southwest corner. I need to go there and liquidate some folks, but I'm not going to waste time and energy walking every mile of that mess myself. I've been offering adventurers a bounty, the first to tell me how to reach the bandits. If you aren't the first I sent. If you tell me where to go, I'll pay you in gems. Any advice where to look? Southwest, I think. If directions make any sense in that tangle. Thanks. I figure she had some kind of mission for me. I figure there's a bounty board here too because they mentioned bounties, or the ex-mayor's wife. Maybe we'll get to fight zombie mayor. Give me that. A shining golden band. Doesn't look gold to me. Energy resistance. I like pearl weapons. I do believe I need to train him in melee weapons so he can get some Blade Master ranks. Or is it parry? I think if you have a certain amount of melee weapons and pull weapons, you can trade in one of these. I know someone commented on that earlier. Let me look that up. Alright, I've got the comments. Okay. Defense 6 and Dexterity 6 for parry. We're pretty close to that. Let's just bump up Dexterity to 6 now. And, Blade Master is melee and pull 6. It's pretty good. Magical efficacy. Magery is intelligence 8 and 6 in mage or priest spells. So it has to be a natural 8, like you have no bonuses from any gear. And he's got +1 intelligence, so we'll work on you too. Thought I had a thinking cap too, but apparently not. Let's just touch this. There's the bounty board. Won't back down. Look at all this crummy weapons he's got. This young stout priest is heavily armed. There are 2 swords hanging from his belt, a bow is slung over his shoulder. You hear the chinking sound of chainmail under his vestment. Sure whether he's prepared for an imminent attack or this is simply how he prefers to dress. When you enter the shrine, he shakes your hand vigorously. I'm Elder Aaron, of the Church of Prevailing Righteousness. It's always good to meet an adventurer and fellow warrior, purging the underworld of uncleanliness. Also, sadly, I am the acting mayor, if you were looking for the local authorities. You're the acting mayor? Indeed, I am. It's a sad tale. The real mayor, Kerp was his name, he was killed, and I have been guiding this town in his place until the castle can appoint a replacement. And, of course, I am carrying on Kerp's main mission, finding a way to eradicate the undead that plague us. How was he killed? A zombie got him. Terrible thing. On a patrol to inspect the northern caves, he left town to try to reassure the merchant caravans that this area was safe. Then, well, what happened was horrible. The caravans were not reassured. That is terrible. Those caravans need reassurance constantly. The undead are a plague, and like before, we are hoping to find adventurers to help us deal with the threat. They come from the Mertis spiral northeast of here. We do not know what is creating them or how they can be destroyed, and we cannot fight them effectively because there is some sort of powerful magic that protects them. But so you know, if you were able to find the creator of the undead and destroy him, her, or it, I would pay you well with gold and my blessing. Ooh, a blessing. I like blessings. Tell me about the spiral. The dark place, a sponge for evil and magic, northeast of here. There are many strange things about those tunnels that seem to shift about slowly as the years pass, so I cannot provide a map. Curses! How can you beat up those undead? None of us do. None of us know. You, can kill them with enough blows from a good blade, but they are so hardy that they're likely to tear you apart before the job is done. One person said he might know how to defeat them is old Sleater, but he hasn't been back in town for weeks. He lives in the Honeycomb. Who's Sleater? An old sage, a real misanthrope. Does his best to avoid people, though. Fortunately, he doesn't like having undead around any more than we do. He came through to town to tell the mayor that he knew how to defeat the undead. Fortunately, the mayor was off getting killed at the time. Sleater got impatient and returned to his home before we got the news of the mayor's demise. If you want to defeat the undead, going to see him in the Honeycomb might be a good place to start, or a phenomenal waste of time. Yes, yes. Okay, I know about the Honeycomb. Tell me about your church. The faith exists all throughout the known world on the surface and in the underworld. We are a sect of warriors acting to bring peace to the known lands to the destruction of those who would disturb that peace. Surprisingly, adventurers tend to favor our sect. Spells. Mass curing. Pretty useful, and we get if we tangle with more acid bushes. Met many adventurers? Yes, beyond my memory's ability to count them. Many of them go up and down this road looking for their fortune. Are you from the surface? No, lifelong Avernite I am, which is good. There's a sort of schism in our faith. We in the underworld are an independent, free-minded lot. Those of us in the surface are more inclined to fight to help the Empire, even when its goals are not, in my opinion, just. Healing. So instead of resting at the inn, we do that. Okay. Whatever. It works. Any other quests? This person wants icy geodes, which is basically like looking for swamp nodules 2.0. Cauldron spawn. Cerberus worm. Honeycomb. Well, we're going to go to the honeycomb first, because those things were pretty stalwart. Uncontrolled territory. Enters the honeycomb, one of Avernum's more interesting and dangerous natural formations. The honeycomb is a natural labyrinth many miles deep. In years past, it has served to attract wild creatures, bandits, and outlaws of all description, and of course the adventurers who hunt them. Overnight soldiers only rarely venture into these tunnels. It's far too easy to get lost or ambushed. These tunnels are full of the bones of those who did not have enough respect for the dangers of the honeycomb. Let's start with... Well, he's in here somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. There's a warped wolf. Another warped wolf, and a stare down. It's a zombie! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Ow. I'm glad you guys don't drain experience anymore. I dislike that. It might be funny when I get there if Skeeter, whatever his name is, his advice is to use acid on them, because I already figured that out. Really crummy crystals, sentient bones. That's a very efficient undead. Ow. Ow. Oh, you dirty so-and-so. Iron breastplate, plate, vam braces, iron bracers, wooden shield. Steel dagger, crystals. Oh, there's a lot of crystals here. Not bad, really. Time to backtrack. And while I'm in here, I'll talk to the mayor again. Okay, so vaguely in the honeycomb. Gotcha. Just grab all the crystals. They won't sell for much, but every little penny helps.